you 3 and want to go 4? Go ahead and go for it. One of the things that we're all about here in Newark City Schools is student engagement. We have so many wonderful programs, whether it be from the athletic programs, the fine arts programs. We just had a young lady in our art program being a top 25 of 11,000 entries in a ceramic project. We've got some great programs here in our district. If I can give you any advice, as I look over here at our older students in here, they're engaged in things. We've got a lot of things to be engaged in. Jamie Hottier, what are you engaged in? Track. You do anything else besides get good grades and treat people with respect? Some community service stuff? I just said your last name. I bet you do some community service stuff. Mom and Dad leading the way for you, teaching you how to do that. So we encourage our folks. And one of those great programs we have is our choir program. This is our swing choir here at the high school with a wonderful leader, Mr. Nutt. And I would guarantee our youngest students in here, our 4th graders, I'll guarantee you that Mr. Nutt will still be at the high school. You get up there because you can see he's a young man. Not going anywhere because he loves the students of Newark and he does a great job with this program. And I'm going to get Mr. Nutt to share the upcoming program, what they're all about. I'll get out of your way.
Thank you, Mr. Ute. So this is the swing choir. This is our top group at the high school. We're composed of sophomore, juniors, and seniors. So we only have 1 sophomore in our group this year, but this really is the hardest group to get into. It requires a vocal audition as well as a choreography audition. It's the group I get to take around the community to things like this. We've sung in community centers and breakfast with Rotary and Kiwanis, and this group actually did 22 performances in the month of December alone. And so they are busy. But they love what they do, and with all humility, they're good at what they do. And so I'm glad to bring them with you, to bring to you today. We're going to do a few pieces that we actually took to competition recently. So this group doesn't get to go to competition because they're part of a larger ensemble that goes. But the nice thing is within their sound, we can refine and hone some things. So you're going to get to hear 3 pieces today that we took in front of some judges and we did pretty well with. The first song is called The Wordless God.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made that have been made. Nothing was made that He has not made. All things were made that have been made. Nothing was made that He has not made.
All things were made by Him, all things were made by Him. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
And the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, the beginning was the Word, God was the Word, was God, and the Word, the beginning was the Word, the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
setting of a poem by E. Cummings, which was a nice cross-disciplinary moment where we got to talk about poetry and literature and how it interacts with music. A beautiful poem set by David Dickoff called "I Carry Your Heart With Me." along with other 120 students we have in our choral program on May 17th at 7 p.m. We will be in the Performing Arts Center auditorium performing our show. Doesn't have an official title yet, but our theme is decades, and we started in the 1940s and we worked all the way up to 2017. So it's a lot to cover in an hour and a half, but I think we'll do it. And these folks get to feature a few songs that are really recent, and they're really excited and doing a pretty good job of it. And so we're excited to share that music with you, so please come and join us. Our last piece is appropriate in the Easter season, and so the nice thing about taking these folks to contests is that I get to expose them to literature that maybe we don't always get to. And so we get to the more traditional things and the classical things, but the nice thing is we get into gospel and we get into sacred as well. And so this is an Easter piece that really talks about the meaning of Easter, and we'll just let the piece speak for itself. It's called Thy Will Be Done.
Our cup was filled with darkness.
raise your hand if you're involved in more than one thing in the high school. There's a lot so everybody can see you and proud of what you do. You'll notice that a lot of our students are engaged in more than one thing. This wind was shut out here. Tell us what you're engaged in.
Okay, so I play basketball, I sing, both choirs, I'm in student council, honor society.
You get good grades?
Yes.
Have you been in this room as a citizen of the month? Whole thing, so congratulations. Appreciate what you do. Everybody point around. How's it going? Do that. Today was special, and I brought this up last year. So we have a judge in our audience today of music competitions. Mr. Myers, raise your hand up there, elementary principal of Hilton. Wonderful choral teacher in our district before he got in administration that goes around and judges competitions. So, Mr. Myers, how did they do today? They did very, very well. They did very, very well. Now, they can. I always think they sound well, but they can't fool Mr. Myers. They'll be able to fool you. So, great job. Now I know you guys got a single or a double cheese on your mind. Mr. Bowman, did you hear that? They're headed to win this. And then head back to class. Let's give our students Mr. Bowman. Give them a second or two to tear down up here, and then, so if you want to go back, Mr. Gallup, is there still some food over there? So, then we'll go ahead and get started.
No, I've seen No, I haven't read
It's okay, I'll get this. Save your cup, let's get it once. Yeah, and it's supposed to start with that. I think it finishes about 67 or something like
As mentioned earlier, they gave me this microphone, students, so that when you come up here and talk in the microphone so they can hear you at home. Okay, they're going to hear you at home because right in the back of the room there's a camera back there. Okay, and there's a paw print that I am standing on right now, both feet on the paw print when you come up here and talk so that everybody can see you at home. And each month we talk, I always forget how many people when we do our thing, how many people watch Channel 19, or I can still call it Channel 19. What is it? Where's Mr. 1021 or Channel 1021? Probably be on
next week.
Next week?
Yep.
I'll be on next week. I always forget how many people watch that. Mr. Carr, where's he at? He usually has an idea.
Somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million.
1.5 to 2 million people watch this show. He always, depends on the week, he always keeps track of that, okay? So we got a lot of viewers out there, and this is your turn, your time to shine and let everybody know who you are, because it's special to be in here. So we look straight into that camera back there, and we tell them who we are, what we like to do in school, what we like to do out of school, and who we brought with us. Okay? And I say this every month. I sit down. I love this. This is my favorite part of the month. But Mrs. Wilson would tell you over there, I sit down in my office, man, because I got to speak in front of people, and I just get real nervous. Okay? So I take deep breaths. Students, take a deep breath, get up here, relax, and get up here. If you have any other questions, no one speaks in front of people more than Mr. Hottinger, our wonderful state, I almost called you state representative, state senator over here. And he'd give you a few pointers if you need that over there, especially today. But each month, we're fortunate to have a community member or organization sponsor our Citizen of the Month luncheon. This month, it is Mr. Gary Baker in the Energy Cooperative. And as I call Gary up here, not only is Gary represented the Energy Cooperative, but in my opinion, in the 10 years I've been here as superintendent, I've gotten to know Gary a little bit and watched him. Gary's in that upper tier of folks that are community leaders here. He cares about our community, does a lot for our community. It was neat talking to Gary. He's got a daughter that graduated a year ago named Meredith, who was very active in our schools, very wonderful, and how well she's doing and how she's engaged in her college activities now. And that's neat for us to see here, how she learned that from our community, and not just her parents, but our school district. So let's give Gary a hand. And
Thank you, Mr. Yu. I have to be careful because I call him Doug most of the times, but and I leave here and I think I should call him Mr. Yu. First off, on behalf of the co-op, the Energy Cooperative, thank you for being here and congratulations to all the students. I want to give you a couple little pointers. You students, public speaking is really a lot more fun than you think. And so I encourage you to get up in front of people. Learn to drop something that where'd you go? There. Learn to get up and public speak, because it's very important and it's going to be something of a lost art in time. So I encourage you, when you get on with your schooling and you get involved, get up in front of people. So when you do public speak, you want to have some takeaways. You want to give that crowd something that they remember. So I usually cheat and bring something along. So each student's going to get a little pin today. So I'll give those out later. But I really want to talk to you about safety very quickly. The Energy Cooperative puts safety above everything. We work in a very dangerous business. We have employees that are out on power lines and active gas lines. We are an electric, natural gas, and propane provider of about 65,000 members in this area. Primarily Knox, Licking, and Muskingum. But we've also got a commitment. We have a commitment to the community about safety. So a couple things. Who can tell me what natural gas smells like?
Rotten eggs.
Beg pardon?
Rotten eggs.
Rotten eggs? And I heard back here,
It has no odor.
it has no odor. Natural gas really has no smell. There's an additive called meerkat that they put in it to make it smell like rotten eggs. But if you smell gas, you immediately leave the premises, leave the building, call 911, and then call your utility provider. This is a very, very important message that we try to get out. Also, power lines. Never touch a down power line, because it could be energized. Keep your pets away. That's another, people forget. Pet just kind of wanders over there. Never touch a down power line. If a power line comes down on your car, stay in your car. Unless it's on fire, you have to get out. But stay in your car until first responders get there. Those are important messages. Right now we've got a campaign wrapping up called Slow Down, Move Over. This is our effort to remind people when there's flashing lights and you're in your car, you are required by law to move over. And far too many of our employees have been, some have been hit, nearly hit, and you'll see now and then that a roadside worker's been hit and killed by by someone who didn't really pay attention. So we're also promoting Safe 811 Safe Digging Month. So if you are doing any kind of digging around your property, call 811, get the utility lines marked so that we don't have an incident. We have third-party dig-ins, they're called. About every other week, we have a pretty severe breach. Nothing real dangerous, but severe in that it requires our company to go out and repair those things. So anyway, that's about it. I congratulate you all. Any questions for me? I am the Director of Marketing and PR, so if you get the magazine that comes out of my department. I also am responsible for all the digital media, so all the social medias and Facebook, Twitter comes out of my department. I have a great communications manager that's very talented, and I do a lot of PR and things like this. So thank you again, and congratulations to the students.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Our students from Carson would like to present you. Would you please take it back to your co-workers and let them know how much we appreciate you guys sponsoring this today, but everything you do in our community. And let's give Gary another hand. Thank you, Gary. So before we introduce our students, I want to acknowledge some folks in the room today. One is, I mentioned Gloria Wilson over here. Gloria, raise your hand. Gloria runs this whole thing. I tell her, just give me the microphone, and she takes care of everything else, the planning and setting up and all of that. And not only does she do that, she keeps my part of the office, our part of the district, rolling very, very smooth. Gloria has been here 33 years? Here 25, it has 33, and it's worked in about every department. And how long you been in the superintendent's office? I've been here 10 years, and she was here when I walked in that first day, so 10 plus years, and just a wonderful lady that cares about kids and keeps our district rolling. So let's give Gloria a hand. Thank you. I mentioned Mr. Gallup and his staff. We feed about 5,000 lunches a day. How many breakfasts are we up to, Todd? About 3,900. Feed kids on weekends, look at feeding kids in the summertime, helping folks that way. Help the Salvation Army, feed our homeless people in the community, those type of things, instead of throwing our food away, doing that. That's a big, big business, and something that we really care about is that our students get a good meal every day, and Todd and his group do a fantastic job. Please give Todd a hand. And as I go around, Maura, would you please stand up? We have Maura Horgan, who's our Director of Curriculum and Professional Development / Assistant Superintendent. We do not have an Assistant Superintendent in this district. I've never asked for one. That was part of the cuts in 07, 08. And so when you're in a director role here in the district, you assume a lot of other duties. And I mention this a lot when I talk about Ms. Horgan, because for me, in my office, one person can't administrate the whole district of 6,500 with all of our school buildings and stuff. So I'm fortunate to have folks who perform duties such as other superintendents do in smaller districts, those type of things, and Maura fits that role very well. Came out of New York to go to Denison, headed back after 4 or 5 years and never left Licking County. And it's a huge benefit to our school district. She's wonderful. She pushes our district ahead from a curriculum standpoint, professional development, but handles a lot of other things. Let's give Maura a hand for what she's doing. Then we have Gemma, would you please stand up? Gemma Zimmerman, who does a lot of things in our district, supervises some folks, but really what she spends a lot of time on school safety, making sure our students are safe in our district with our safety plans. But more importantly, well, not more importantly than school safety, nothing's more important than school safety. But for our kids, she's in charge of our after-school programs. We have 4 after-school programs in elementary, 2 in the middle school, and 1 at the high school. She's working with the Boys and Girls Club that'll open next fall for our kids here in the community, and just does a fantastic job. Let's give Maura a hand, please. And we have Seth Roy, I'm going to do this now, Seth, because I just thought of it, because every month I always dismiss people and Seth says, wait, there's a picture. So while I'm thinking about that, Seth, where are we taking our group picture at today?
Right up front.
Right up front. We'll line you up at the end, and parents, you'll have an opportunity to take a picture of the group, and he'll have it online probably before you start your car, I would imagine. Seth's our communications director. No pressure, Seth, at all. But you can look at me and look at the top of my head and probably know that dude don't know a whole lot about Twitter and Facebook and social media, and then look at the top of his head and say, hey, he's a genius with that stuff. We communicate how our community wants communicated with. This is my 19th year as a school superintendent, and we used to communicate it with a quarterly newspaper. Remember those newspapers you used to get? And now people want immediate communication, those things. Our students know about things and share with you on a cell phone before we get a chance to, before Mr. Bowman gets a chance to call me most of the time. And Seth keeps us up with that. Also, Seth usually gets a call from me at 5 or 5:30 in the morning and says, hey, we're not going to have school today, but I don't want to wake anybody up, Seth. Why don't you do that? So Mr. Roy will give you that call. So don't get mad at me when you get that early call. But that's done until next January, I hope. Right, Seth? Maybe. So let's give Seth a hand for what he does. We have Mark Shively here, who supervises our cafeterias, our buses, and our facilities. And all three areas are big. Mark's been with the district, I think it's his third year. And you know, I would mention that with our facilities, the community graced this school district with wonderful facilities. We want to make sure that we're taking care of those facilities, and it's a big job. So I give people an example. We're doing maintenance on our buildings now, so you don't have to replace a roof after 20 or 25 years. Maybe it'll be 30 years, those type of things. So let's give Mark a hand for what he does. Amy Norman, standing up here, our technology coordinator. Who in here likes to turn their computer on and zap them on? I know, everybody should. Who in here as a parent gets an earful when the internet doesn't work at your house? Anybody in that boat? Boy, you want to tick off some kids. Hey, my internet doesn't work. Amy is, how many computers do we have in our district? Roughly?
6,000 plus.
About 6,000 plus computers in our school district, and a network that's full of people using it and things like that. And Amy and her group make sure that when we turn our computers on, it just zaps up real quick. So thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Let's give Amy a hand. And then I want to thank a group of people that are just fantastic administrators in their building. Let's have our principals please stand up. I want you to stand up for a few minutes here, but I want folks to look around the room because we have so many special people running their buildings. And as I showed my age a little bit ago, when I have a thought, I can't say, well, I'll just call them tomorrow. I got to call them tonight. And it might be 10:15 on Sunday night. And I call John Davis. And they answer, they take care of issues. But more importantly, what's important to me, and I know it's important to you, they love our children. And they want to give them a great experience in their schools. They love our children in our districts and care about them. And they have big jobs. I've been a building principal. I always tell people I was an athletic director, I was a high school principal, and I've been a superintendent for 19 years. I didn't work any harder, don't tell Jeff Quackenbush I said this, than when I was an athletic director. Mark was an athletic director at Mount Vernon. Am I right, Mark?
That's right.
And then I worked my tail off here. Then it slid down a little bit when I was principal, and it even slides down a little bit more because we have great people in our building that take care of things that I don't have to take care of. Principals, we appreciate what you do. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. We have 2 school board members with us today. I'll mention the 3 that aren't here, and then before I mention the ones that are here. We have a fantastic school board. Fantastic. That they're not always in agreement with each other, which is great. They talk through things. They never argue. but the thing that I love about him is it's always about the kids. It's never about who lives next to him or anything that way. It's always about the kids. We have Tom Blind, who obviously couldn't be here today because he's working with Bev Nickham, a wonderful lady that works over at State Farm. And Tom's been on 10 plus years. Bev's getting close to 10. She's about 8, somewhere in that neighborhood. And Mike Blowers, who's a retired teacher, probably subbing today at CTEC, I would imagine, subbing up there. And then we have our board president over here, Warren Weber, retired Air Force, been around not just the country, around the world a little bit. When he retired, he came to Newark to work. He's got ties. He grew up in Chicago and Detroit, both of those two. Came to Newark, raised his family here. Grandkids have graduated. Grandkids are coming up through. Warren's been a community leader around Newark for many years and is serving on our school board 4 years now. I think you're in your 4th year. And he's going to run again. And we hope Warren joins us for 4 more after that. So let's give Warren a hand for his. Tim, would you please stand up? Tim Carr, who was on the board when I came here, got off for a year or 2, got back on. I think he's probably combined in double digits, coming into his 8th year. This is your 8th year, right? On this, and so he's in Warren's boat. You running? Let's put him on the spot. Are you running again?
I plan to.
He plans to. I knew he was going to, or I wouldn't have done that, believe me. I like my job too much. But Tim is pastor in the community here, and you talk about a person that cares about kids. He loves his 2 kids, but he also loves 6,500 other kids, and that shines out in through there. So let's thank Tim for his leadership. And before we get to our students, we talk about programs. One of our high-rising programs, Mr. Dunham leads it right here, is our media program. Matt, would you please stand up? Young man's from Alaska and loves the weather here in Ohio. The only one who does at this time of year, right? But Matt has 3 young men with him today that they're streaming things now. Matt, do you want to shout out how many things you probably streamed this year?
This year alone, we streamed almost all the girls' volleyball games. We streamed every home basketball game, boys and girls. We streamed the board meetings. We streamed the Citizens of the Month luncheons, and then we've also streamed a lot of the concerts at the high school. So we're probably up to probably 40 or 50 events this year that we've live streamed.
Good. So you can catch a lot of things here when you're. Who's the furthest away that's probably watched a stream of ours? Can you tell that?
Probably my parents in Alaska.
Oh, there you go. We're seeing. So when we tell you 1.52 million, probably because his parents probably told everybody in Alaska to watch it. I would imagine. We should say hi to mom and dad. Is it Anchorage or?
Anchorage, yeah.
Anchorage, Alaska. Hello. There. So let's give Matt a hand for his leadership. Okay, I think I'm through to the point where students, your time to shine. It's always your time to shine, but for those lot of viewers out here, both feet on the cat. And I stand back here and watch. I said, both feet on the cat. And Mr. Bowman's going to come up here first. I go through this with him, and I went through it last year, and he came up, and both feet were off the cat. And I have to sneak him back on so that folks can see you in that camera. Again, take a deep breath and relax. It's a great, as I love Mr. Baker's message today. Learn how to do that. I'm not sure I could stand up here when I was your age. And so learn how to talk in front of folks. Look them in the eye and tell them who you are. That's what we like to stay here. And so our first group, so we're going to come through here. Where are you taking the picture at, Seth? Are you doing individual ones in the hallway? No. Oh, right here, while you're talking. Okay, I'll just get out of the way because I don't know what's going on. So let's welcome Mr. Tom Bowman, our high school principal.
Thank you, Mr. Ute. Mr. Baker, Energy Co-op, thank you for your support. Every time I have asked him for something at the high school, always has come through, and I appreciate your support not only just to the high school, but the entire district and the community. So thank you very much. Students out there today, congratulations. You guys are leaders, and I will look forward to your leadership in a few years coming to the high school. So I'll I'll be looking for you to come up through the ranks. Excited to brag about 5 students today. We have a lot at the high school, but 5 in particular today. We're going to start with our 9th grader, Orion Whitner. Orion, come on up. Teachers say about him, he always comes to school with a smile on his face, and he's ready to work hard. He strives to be a leader and constantly motivates his peers and help them to be engaged in school. So congratulations, Ryan.
As you know, my name is Orion. I'm in 9th grade. Today I'm here with my mom, and I'm thankful for being chosen for Citizen of the Month. I'm also thankful for my friends, teachers, and family. I like to play football for Newark High, and I like to hang out with my friends. I just want to say thank you again for choosing me for Citizen of the Month for my grade.
All right, for 10th grade, we have Mr. David Marty.
Oh no. Oh no.
David is a bit of a jokester. David is a hard worker and a true leader in the classroom. He always works hard and is respectful to staff and students. And he's helping me currently. He's working on a project. He's going to talk about that, I'm sure, maybe very briefly. All right, David.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bowman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for voting me for the 10th grade staff. Thanks, Dad. I'm in 10th grade, guys. I'm a sophomore. I'm halfway through getting out here, and I have to pay taxes. I truly enjoy my life. Some things that I enjoy up at the high school. My favorite class at this point is Mr. Smith's Enriched American History. We enjoy listening to Bon Jovi in the morning, and after we leave, he listens to Bon Jovi again. But also, one of my favorite things that I get to be a part of out of school is Mr. Dunham's group. Mr. You forgot to say I was a part of that group too.
I apologize.
You hurt my heart, man. But I truly enjoy that. I get to be a part of many things, but also I am trying to become an Eagle Scout, and my project is making a garden in front of the hub office up at Newark High School, where we bring all the memorials that are possibly damaged or that are there, and we restore them and put them in one area to memorize all of the people who have been up at Newark High School through the past and to the future. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, and from 11th grade, Jamie Hodger. Jamie is a quiet but strong leader. She is always the first person to help students around her, and she always has a positive outlook on school and life. So congratulations, Jamie.
Thank you. First, I want to say thank you for nominating me to be the Assistant of the Month. I'm a junior at Newark High School. I'm currently doing track right now. Next meet Saturday at PE. Oh wait, sorry. Tomorrow, Saturday at PE. I like to, at downtime, spend time with my family and pets. And with me is my mom and dad, Sherry and Jay Hodinger.
Sorry, Sarah. Senior leader right now, Sarah Howe. Sarah is always a responsible and respectful member of the classroom, and she is always eager and willing to help others. That's what they say about you, Sarah, so congratulations.
Like he said, my name is Sarah, and today I brought with me my mom, Cindy, and my dad, Ron. I'm involved in quite a bit, if I do say so myself. I played volleyball, I swam, I'm in ROTC, and then I'm also involved with the multimedia live broadcasting things with Mr. Dunham. I really enjoy school, surprisingly. I thought I'd never say that, but keep your heads up. It's not that bad. Once you get to high school, I know all of you guys probably hate it, but I'm also excited to be attending Ohio University next year to major in photography and minor in business.
And our CTEC representative is an 11th grader. She is in the clinical care program at CTEC, Iana Bird.
Hello, I'm Iana Bird. I'm from CTEC and I'm in the program Clinical Care. I'd just like to say thank you for everyone who nominated me for Citizen of the Month. So at CTEC, I was part of this program called HOSA, and I just finished a competition there for this thing called CERT. It's like Community Emergency Response Team. We actually did really well, made all the way to regionals, but sadly we cannot make it to nationals. But other than that, I am a member of our 4-H group. And I'm going to be raising market hogs this year, and that's it.
All right, now I get to turn it over to John Lutz in Newark Digital Academy.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman, and thank you, Energy Cooperative, for sponsoring today. The two fine young people I'm going to bring up here were nominated by our staff at Newark Digital Academy and then voted on. And so our first recipient is McKay Green. Come on up. She's a 9th grader and has been with the Newark Digital Academy now into the 7th year. So we've had the luxury of watching her grow up. Staff says about her, diligent worker, always advocates for herself when she needs help, respectful and courteous to the staff and to her fellow students, and has a fantastic sense of humor.
I'm Makaya Green. I'm here with my mom, Casey Green. My favorite school subject is English because I love to write. When I'm at home, I like art and photography. And yeah, thanks for nominating me for Student of the Month, or Citizen of the Month.
Next I have Jordan Mitchell. Jordan is a 10th grader, 2nd year. Is that correct? 2nd year at NDA. He's demonstrated outstanding scholarship, shows respect for himself, fellow students, and the school and his staff, takes responsibility, and here's what I really like to see, because I think this is the highest compliment you can pay someone, that they have grit. So if you know what that means, you know, when things get a little bit tough, that you just keep going. That's the word the staff used with them. Wonderful writer, very creative, and a team player.
Thank you for nominating me. You probably noticed the accent, probably. I came all the way from Scotland to be here about 2012, and I'm very happy to have all the options here. It's quite a difference. I'm here with my dad, Robert. He's the best dad I could ever ask for. I ain't got too much else to say, but thank you very much for nominating
I'm Nolan Sadler, principal at Heritage Middle School. Thank you also to the Energy Cooperative. They support a lot of programs in the district, but also in our building as well. So thank you, Mr. Baker, for all your support. Congratulations to everybody here. As Mr. Hughes said, it is a big deal to be here, so be proud of yourselves. I've got 3 great One Team One Heartbeat kids with me today. These are kids that come and they do everything we ask every single day without question, and that's why they're here. So our 6th grader to start is Mr. Dylan James.
Hello, I'm here with my grandpa and grandma, and I am very pleased to be nominated as a Citizen of the Month. And I like basketball, and I like just chilling with my friends mostly. So, thank you. Favorite subject in school is language arts.
Our 7th grader, up here on her crutches. Unfortunate that it just had to happen this week, but she's still glad to be here, is Hannah Farnsworth.
I'm Hannah And this is my dad, Wayne, and my mom, Sarah. And one subject I really enjoy is pre-engineering. And we've done 3 competitions, and my team has won 2 out of the 3. So I really enjoy that. And I'd like to play basketball, but unfortunately I broke my ankle playing that over spring break. So yeah. So thank you for this lunch and nominating me for System of the Month.
And our 8th grader is Cassandra Sanchez.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Sanchez. I'm with my mom, Kim, and my Aunt Becky, and my little cousin, Chucka. I like doing math in school, and then I used to play softball, but I'm not this year, sadly. But I like playing with my cousins, my little cousins, after school. I just wanted to say thank you for nominating me for Citizen of the Month.
And we got Mr. Fickus from Liberty.
Thank you, Mr. Sadler. Once again, I'm Brent Fickus, principal at Liberty Middle School. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you to Mr. Baker as well. I have 3 great kids with me today. First, our 6th grade representative is Riley Ditto.
Hi, my name is Riley Ditto. I'm with my mom, Stephanie, and my dad, Shane Stoneking. My favorite subject is math. I really like it this year because my teacher, Mr. Berkeley, just makes it fun for us to learn. And then I do band, student council, and I made it on the honor roll 3 times in a row. And after school, I do dance.
Next up, our 7th grade representative is Lacey Lane.
My name's Lacey. I go to Liberty Middle School. I do track and cross country. I do orchestra. I'm here with my mom and my dad. Thank you for nominating me for Citizen Month.
And finally, our 8th grade representative, Charlie Pyle.
My name is Charlie Pyle, and I'm in 8th grade at Liberty, and my favorite subject is American history, and I do track and cross country, and I'm here with my mom and my dad.
Next up, be Mr. Davis from Wilson Middle School.
Good afternoon. I'm John Davis, very proud to be principal of Wilson Middle School. I'm finishing my 15th year there, and each day is a new and exciting opportunity to work with your students. I want to thank, on behalf of Wilson Middle School and Newark City Schools, Gary Baker and the Energy Cooperative for all that they do for our schools and for our community. And I'd also like to thank all the parents for giving us the opportunity to work with your students each and every day. The 3 students I brought today, it's kind of girl power. All 3 happen to be girls. And these girls are just above reproach when each and every day they conduct themselves in a very mature manner at Wilson Middle School, and they're just good all-round citizens, and that's why they're here today. Our 6th grade representative is Miss Montana.
My name is Montana. My grandma, my mom, and my niece. And my favorite subject in school is English, language arts, and out of school I enjoy volleyball and art.
Our 7th grade representative is Miss Anessa.
My name is Vanessa. I'm here with my mom. And my favorite subject in school is math. And after school, I like to draw and play with my dogs.
our 8th grade representative. She's only been with us since like October, but she's made a great impact at Wilson Middle School, Miss Crystal.
My name is Crystal Montgomery. I'm an 8th grader at Wilson Middle School. I'm here with both of my parents, Benny Montgomery and Erica Montgomery. Things that I used to be in were jazz band, OMUN, which is Ohio Model United Nations, where we help different countries like with their problems or whatever. And then I also used to be in TLC, where we help elementary kids like with their homework and everything. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone that nominated me for Citizen of the Month.
Good afternoon, my name is Dina Cable and I'm the principal at Ben Franklin Elementary, and I'm excited to introduce two wonderful students that have great families, and I want to thank both of the families because they are probably two families that are Mrs. Cable's greatest cheerleaders, so they encourage me to be a better principal and support the kids at our school. Our 4th grade representative is Zane Wright, and Mr. Hawk, his teacher, said he couldn't ask for a more kind and caring student and someone to be a great leader in the classroom. Zane, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Zane, and my favorite subject in school is science. My favorite thing at home is watching TV. I play with my mom and my brother.
And our 5th grade representative is Dakota Large and her little baby sister, Ember. So thanks to the family for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm Dakota Large. I am with my mom and grandma and my baby sister. I enjoy reading, both at home and at school. Again, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie Elwell, principal at Carson Elementary. Thanks Energy Cooperative. Mr. Baker, I do read your newsletter. I enjoy that, thank you. Congratulations to all the families. You should be so proud that you're raising such wonderful students, and just can't say enough about that. I have two beautiful girls with me today. They are just as beautiful on the inside as they are on the outside. And the first one is my 4th grade representative, Savannah Dunn. Before I turn it over to Savannah, I wanted to share what her teacher had to say about Savannah. She said that she is very trustworthy and honest. She is always helpful and reliable in the classroom, and she is always involved and engaged in classroom activities. So there you go for Mrs. Corella.
Hi, I'm Savannah Dunn, and my favorite subject in school is reading. I have my mom and my grandma, Judy Abel and Stephanie Abel. My favorite subject to do at home is to read, play soccer, play with friends, and watch TV.
And our 5th grade representative is Jasmine Milner. Come on over. And she just joined us this year as a 5th grader, she and her brother actually, so we're very, very thankful that they joined us. She's doing great things at Carson. Her teacher says that she sets good examples for her classmates by doing the right thing, shaking up here, and making good choices. She was on the A honor roll for the 3rd quarter, and she cares for her classmates, and she constantly checks on one student in particular that she cares about a lot. You have to tell me about that later. Here you go, Jasmine.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and my favorite subject is math. And what I like to do out of school is softball.
Thank you, Mrs. Elwell. My name is Chet Coleman. I'm a very proud principal at Cherry Valley Elementary. I also would like to thank Mr. Baker for everything that Energy Co-op does, but special thank you goes out to all the parents, because as administrators throughout the district, we couldn't do what we do without all of your support. So it's very, very important to us that you allow your students to come to us and we can teach them and hopefully make them better citizens. and I brought two outstanding citizens with me today. First is a fourth grader. Both of them are very respectful, take responsibility, and have a good attitude, but both of them are willing to do anything that they're asked, and their smile is just contagious. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Brady Snow.
I am Brady Snow. These are my parents, and I like to read.
Thank you, Brady. Next is an outstanding young lady that comes in every single morning with a smile. And we really appreciate that. It's contagious. She'll do anything for you. Miss Layla Stallworth.
Hi, my name is Layla Stallworth, and I brought my two parents, Kelly and Brian. My favorite subject is math, and at home I like to write hoverboard. Thank you.
And Mrs. Neighbors.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Hi, I'm Linda Neighbors. I'm the principal at John Clem, been there 14 years. I'm very excited about that because every year is new and great. Energy Co-op, thank you for sponsoring this because this is one of my favorite days. Actually get to sit down, if you ask the principals, we actually get to sit down and eat lunch, so it's really, really great. Parents, thank you for the great job that you have done to give us such great kids. I would like to introduce our first one, and I got boy power today instead of the girl power that's going on. So the first one I'm introducing, Dakota, come on up. This is Dakota Howard, and the teachers nominate them in our school, but I always ask the kids, you know, what they think. And this is what Dakota's peers and friends said about him. Dakota gives snacks to people who don't have any. He's helpful and respectful. He thinks about other people, not just him. He doesn't lie. He's a really good friend.
Hello, I am Dakota Howard. I'm here with my mom and aunt. My favorite thing to do in school is gym, and my favorite thing to do out of school is football and baseball.
Our fifth grade representative, come on over, Avidin. Avidin actually is new to our building this year. He came from Johnstown, and which it's really cool that we have a kid that comes in with such, you know, positive things. This is what his peers said. He's really sweet, which I think is nice. He's nice to others. He helps a lot. He's super smart, and he's sympathetic. What a wonderful word. So, Avidin.
Hello, my name is Avidin Shaw, and I brought my parents, and I like to do soccer outside of school, and I do math in school, and that's my favorite subject.
Mr. Myers.
Good afternoon. My name is Nick Myers. I'm the principal at Hillview Elementary. I'm very excited to be here. I also want to thank Mr. Baker, the Energy Co-op, for sponsoring this every year. And what my two Citizens of the Month don't know until this very moment is that all of my staff already had a chance to choose. So this month they were chosen by me. I got to choose. And I have chosen two kids that just symbolize everything that is right with the world to me. They are kind, they're loving, they're compassionate and active kids in our school. And so you were selected by me alone. And I want to thank them for being such great kids. Our fourth grade representative is Christopher Lawrence.
Hi, my name is Christopher Lawrence. I'm with my mom, Trini, and my dad, Chris. My favorite things to do in school is math and reading, and my favorite things to do outside of school are draw, and I like to play video games like most boys do, and play outside.
And our fifth grade representative is Mallory Back.
Hi, Hi, my name is Mallory Beck. I'm in 5th grade at Hillview Elementary, and in school my favorite subject is math, and out of school my favorite thing to do is softball, and these are my two parents, Heidi and Chris.
And now Mrs. Baker.
Hi, I'm Cindy Baker, and I'm the principal at McGuffey Elementary. Thank you to the Energy Cooperative. I love the pens. Those are really cool. If you have an extra, that would look great on my desk. I like to collect things. I have two wonderful students with me today. My first student, I'm going to have to say I'm a little selfish with her. She is one of my first students that walks through the building, and in the morning she's one of my first hugs that I get each day, and it goes well with coffee. So our first is our 4th grade student, Miss Brianna Wycliffe.
My name is Brianna Whitcliffe. I am in 4th grade and my teacher is Miss Matt. My favorite subject in school is math, and I like to play outside when I'm not at school. I got my foster mom named Tom.
Our second student, I feel like I'm sort of deja vu with this one. A couple months ago, I had Connor's twin brother here today. So needless to say, this is a great family, and we've got 2 more coming our way. Yes. We've decided today that you'll probably see Miss Gabby next year. Connor Fish.
Hi, my name is Connor. I brought my mom with me. My grandma was here a few minutes ago, but left for work. It was her birthday. And I like reading and baseball.
Miss Cooper.
Thank you, Mrs. Baker. Wonderful to be here today. Congratulations to all of our District Citizens of the Month and their parents. What a beautiful sight you make standing at this point and looking out at all of your faces. Just a terrific thing. Mr. Baker, thank you very much for sponsoring the luncheon. We always appreciate everything you do in the community. I have 2 wonderful students from Legend Elementary to introduce to you this afternoon. Our first citizen in 4th grade is Landon Penn. Landon? Landon's going to introduce his guest and tell you a little bit about himself, but first I want to tell you a little bit about him. His teacher says that he is a kind and caring student in her classroom. He's always respectful of others, and he's an all-around nice guy. Landon?
Hello, my name is Landon. Today I have my mom here, and usually when I go home, I usually like to play with my friends and my chickens, and my favorite subject is math.
Thank you, Landon. If you didn't catch that, he said chickens. So he's been talking to us about them at the table. Our 5th grade Citizen of the Month is Kaya Bailey. And Kaya, if you'll come on up. Kaya's teacher says she is cheerful, creative, and kind. She always has a smile on her face, as you can see, and she works hard every day. Kaya, introduce your guest and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Kaya Bailey, and I'm here today with my mom, Kat Bailey. And some of my favorite things to do are I like to read and garden, and I like to go running sometimes. My favorite subjects are reading and science.
Thank you, Kaya. Mr. Ute.
Give our students another round of applause. As I mentioned before, this is our favorite day of the month, favorite program that we get to do here in the district. And I always love listening to the comments that staff members and the students' peers say about it. And I reflect back as I sit and I look at Mrs. Morgan over here, and Mrs. Quackenbush is not here, and Mrs. Vaughn, who's at a meeting. Our top district leadership team here, Mr. Shively, I know our board members. We obviously have a lot of conversations in the school district about student achievement. How can we get students to achieve higher in math and language arts, science? We have a lot of those conversations. But we have a lot of conversations too about how can we get our students to treat each other with respect, because that's a big skill to have when you leave high school. And I'm sitting here looking at our high school students here. I know Ms. Hottinger, some of the folks sitting here about, and that's when you know, having the luxury of being a superintendent of the district 10 years. You know, the average lifespan of a superintendent of a school district in the state of Ohio is 3.2 years. I've been in one district 9, well really 13 because I was high school principal prior to that, and one district 10. I've been very fortunate. But I sit and I look at families that over the last 10 years I've gotten to know a little bit through activities and had some conversations with them. And it doesn't surprise me that your children are with the kind of folks you are. But I want you to know that we have a lot of conversations in our district about how our students enter our schools in the morning. I think it was Ms. Baker talked about her first hug in the morning and how well that went with a cup of coffee. And at Cherry Valley, where's the Cherry Valley table here? I'm sorry, what was your name, young lady? Layla. That's right, I started thinking in my head. The song Layla. I was doing a little bit of that. That's showing my age there a little bit. But how she enters the building every day. And then we start talking about the superintendent or principals or directors here. How do we enter the day when we put our foot on the ground in this district? We talk a lot. I talk a lot about, hey, when my foot hits the ground, man, I'm all for 6,500 students, and I give them our best with a positive attitude that carries you somewhere in life. And it's just great to see that our students are entering buildings that way and treating each other with respect and taking care of business, so to speak, that way. And again, all of us in this room either run a company or work for a company or work somewhere. And who do you want to work with? Somebody that comes in with a bad attitude every day, or somebody that comes in with a positive attitude and really giving it their all. So students, I'm so proud of you and thankful for what you do in our buildings. We have to have 6,500 leaders in the school district to make it special. And the 30 that are in here really step up and lead that. Then other thoughts. Grandparents, raise your hand. Raise them high if you're a grandparent. I'm up, I got 7. I got 7. 4 kids and 7 grandkids here. Grandpa, why don't you stand up? I'll pick on the grandparents today, your grandparents. You proud that you're in this room today?
Yes, sir.
I had a talk with you earlier. I loved hearing what you talked about, how proud, and you think about, I taught my children who are teaching their children how to behave in life and carry the way they carry themselves through life and everything. And so let's give our grandparents a hand today. Students, we do this every month. I had our principals stand up earlier, okay, and talked a little bit about them. And I know from being a high school principal, when I talk to parents, they'd say, I hope my child doesn't see you. And I used to respond, oh my goodness, I was a principal in a building with 600 kids. And I always used to say 99% of them are just fantastic kids, and 1% of them are ornery. A little bit too ornery at times, as John, as being a high school principal, knows. And but they're all loving children. And I want to see, I don't want to just see the kids that skip class or skip school, or I want to see the good kids. And so don't forget that. And I love that, hugging that principal in the morning. So principals, stand up if you would. We're going to give some hugs out in this room today. Here's what I want you to do. We talk, children, we talk a lot about, and they make fun of me sometimes because I say, hey, look them in the eye, tell them who you are, tell them you love them.
So I want you to go to your building principal right now. I want you to look them in the eye, tell them you appreciate them, and give them a hug or a fist bump if you feel more comfortable. They like hugs.
Yeah, I don't
Thank you for doing that. Don't forget, when you see your building principal, don't forget to give them a fist bump, tell them you appreciate it. They're working hard for everybody in the building. And the second hug we're going to give today, some of you are going to give more than one, is that parents, are you proud to be in here today? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, from our end, and we talked to our principals about this, I don't want, and I'm not going to call anybody out because not everybody does it. I know all the time, but somebody ought to be out front greeting your child every day. And I hope it's the principal. And the reason I ask the principal to do that is get out of your office, get away from some of that stuff that can cloud you down, and get out and get to know people who are dropping their children off. I want them to know, Barbara's not in here, but my first experience here was at Hillview Elementary School 10 years ago with that, when I stood out front with Mark Quackenbush, who was the principal there at the time, and now is our director of personnel. I stood out front there, and cars pulled up, and she knew every person in that car. I remember she even said hi to Aunt Jackie from Phoenix. And I was like, whew, because I came in here saying, hey, I know when I was a principal, I always taught as a teacher to stand at my door, welcome kids in, tell them to have a good day when they leave. And so as a superintendent for 19 years, I've always asked our principals, get out front in the morning, know who's coming into your building. Because as a parent, and I told you I have 4, when you drop your child off, you want to know they're going to have a good day, they're going into a welcoming atmosphere, and somebody's going to take care of them. That's important to us here in the district. Children, it's also important that you tell people you love them. If you look to your right and your left, whether it be a grandparent or mom and dad, somebody is with you, aunt, I heard an aunt in one of the things, and you look your mom and dad in the eye and you tell them how much you appreciate them and everything they do for you. As a parent of 4 and a grandparent of 7, I think about my family all the time. 2 weeks ago, Warren, can you settle your table down over there? 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, my oldest daughter is 31 years old. I'm proud of her. She's a second grade teacher in Johnson Over School District next year. She'll be the elementary principal of that. She's involved in the PhD program and just kicking the world in the tail and having a good time. 2 weeks ago, I went to the zoo with her and her two little ones. And before I left, she came out to give me a hug, looked me in the eye and said, I appreciate that, everything you do for us. She's 31 years old, I'm 57. You know what that made me feel like? It made me feel real good that she took the time to do that. So children, don't forget to do that. And right now, if you would, go look your mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt in the eye, give them a hug, tell them you love them. No fist bumps in this one. Give your dad a hug. Arms around and squeeze him. You got a good dad. Important things, don't forget that. You high school kids, you get the car tonight if you see that. The good car. You get the good car, Dad's car. All right, before we leave today, again, we want to thank Mr. Baker and Energy Co-op for their sponsorship of this program, their leadership in our community, and that safety tip that he provided. You never know who's going to remember that, because sometimes you remember things 20 years later that one guy said. And I better not touch this thing. So thank you for that tip, Gary. Let's give Gary a hand. Okay, it is about 2 till 1. Be back in class at 1:05. High school. And go enjoy. Oh, sorry. We got a picture. I forget about that every month. And I got to help you line up. But enjoy your day. And always remember, it's a great time to be a cat. High schoolers.